Good evening. It's now the time and place for the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees for the 28th day of February 2011. Public notice having been given and published in the paper and posted, I now call the meeting to order. Trustee McKay.
Whereas members of this board present at this meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees regular meeting of February 14, 2011. Now therefore be it resolved this board approves the minutes as entered into the official minutes, and be it further resolved that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any reports?
We have two reports tonight, one from the fire department for the month of January 2011. A total number of calls of 154, of which 115 were rescue and EMS. False alarm and false calls of 19, 5 fires, and 6 good intent calls.
Received and filed. Any others?
Second report is from the building inspector's office for January 2011. A total of 17 building permits issued with a valuation of $117,075 and $1,015 collected in fees. There were a total of 6 certificates of compliance for residential rental property inspections with a total of $585 collected in fees, and a total of 9 certificates of compliance for commercial fire and safety inspections, $1,420 collected in fee, for a total of $3,020 for the month.
Received and filed. Any other reports?
That's it for reports.
Correspondence.
Correspondence was received from Andrew Carlson, Great Food, Great Fun, LLC, notifying the village that they will be applying for an on-premise liquor license for Wing City Grill located on Bennett Road in Fredonia, New York.
Received and filed.
Correspondence was received from Jonathan Bianco, president of HWDS, Inc., notifying the village that they will be applying for an on-premise liquor license for Muldoon's for premises located at 26 Water Street in Fredonia.
Received and filed.
Correspondence was received from the Secretary of the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department to remove the name of Victor Diaz from the active role of the D.R. Barker Hose Company and to transfer him to the active role of the J.S. Lambert Hook and Ladder Company.
Be it resolved that Victor Diaz is hereby transferred from the active roles of the D.R. Barker Hose Company to the active roles of the J.S. Lambert Hook and Ladder Company effective February 2nd, 2011.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
A letter was received from Chautauqua County Department of Planning acknowledging receipt and review of the municipal zoning referral on the comprehensive plan update. Mr. Donald McCord, senior planner, noted in regards to General Municipal Law 239M, intercommunity and county-wide considerations, he finds the question to be of local option. That is, with regard to land use compatibility, traffic safety, drainage, municipal facilities, environmental impact, community character, etc., there should be little to no adverse countywide or intercommunity effect. A copy of the letter is attached to the minutes.
All right. Received. Any other correspondence?
Yes. Last one is correspondence received from Trustee Misico, campaign manager for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, requesting the use of the village sidewalks for the Fredonia Walk MS on Sunday, May 15, 2011.
Be it resolved that the request of Trustee Misico, campaign manager of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, is hereby approved to hold a Fredonia Walk MS on Sunday, May 15, 2011, using various village sidewalks, subject to the direction of the police department, and the village receiving a certificate of insurance in amount of $1 million, naming the village as an additional insured.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other correspondence?
That's it for correspondence.
We have the regular public portion this evening as well as a public hearing. So I think we're going to go with the public portion first. Anyone here that wishes to address the board on any topic, now's the time to stand. State your name and let us know what's on your mind. There being no one to address the board for the public portion, I'll close the public portion. I'm now going to call to order the public hearing. This being the time and place for that hearing, as notice has been published in the paper for the public hearing on the comprehensive plan of the Village of Fredonia, New York. The meeting is now called to order. Anyone that wishes to address issues in the comprehensive plan or their thoughts or concerns, please stand, state your name, and let us know what. Would you like to make a quick presentation on it? Yeah, why don't you? At this point, anyone watching at home will then have an idea since they aren't here.
Where would you like me to?
Well, you could probably stay where you are, and I think the camera can probably catch you right there. Mike likes to get his profile in. He always sits to get that side shown. So.
The Village of Fredonia last had a comprehensive plan done in 1993. It was very land use based. Didn't have as much guidance on other types of issues that more current comprehensive plans tend to go over. And then we received a technical assistance grant in order to be able to look at infrastructure issues, and very wisely thought that that was a good time to do an update to the comprehensive plan at the same time with the assistance from the state. The current version updates the base data from the plan, such as the demographics, the housing, things like that. It also has a much more detailed update of the infrastructure that was prepared with the grant monies that looks at waters, wastewater, stormwater. We also, the village had completed prior to this effort a major survey of residents in 2008. We felt it was important to incorporate that into the comprehensive plan also. So this plan also includes a fairly detailed description of what the public input was from that survey. Major findings from the survey are that people really like living in Fredonia, that the downtown is particularly important, and that there's strong support for parks, playgrounds, improvements to the character, and the village identity, which was seen as very important by a majority of the survey respondents. And so those findings help direct where the comprehensive plan is going in terms of maintaining high quality of life, preserving the character of the village, supporting the downtown businesses, protecting the environmental features that remain in the outer areas of the village, such as the farms, the open space, the creeks that run through the village, protecting your cultural, your historic, and your recreational resources, promoting economic development, and promoting efficiency in government. Those were a summary of the goals that are in that plan, guides how you will move forward. It contains a number of recommendations and a vision map to help you try to implement those goals. Right now, we've finished our draft of it. It's been available for public review. We're undergoing the seeker portion of it. The next steps will be to complete seeker, take any comments and changes to the plan, and then adopt it as revised.
Next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good, great job.
Wonderful help bringing it all back together for us. It's been a long process. Sam tells me that's not unusual, but it
It is not unusual.
seems like a lifetime.
We've done many of these, and it is not unusual at all. But the longer you take, the more confidence you can have that people have looked at it and are not, you're not going to have any surprises with people saying, wait a minute, I didn't like that. So.
Again, between the survey that was done, we had the evening up here with the meetings. When we broke into groups, there had to be 40 people up here, almost 50 people that evening.
And that was over a course of about 3 or 4 meetings, and really impressed me that the same number of people came back again.
You know, Sue's just happy to see us get to this point because we told her she can't leave the board as a trustee until this is done. Because she's, I mean, if there's any, if there's been anybody that from this board and from the village administration that's had a day-to-day dealing with this, it's certainly been Sue's. And we've wouldn't be where we are with this if it wasn't for some of the stuff you did. So
now they know if they don't like it.
If we can stall it for 4 years, you want to keep. And see, we did that without making any reference to Arizona. Again, anyone that wishes to address the board at all on the public portion or the public hearing on the comprehensive plan? If not, I will close the public hearing on the comprehensive plan. We'll now continue on with our resolutions.
We did have one more correspondence though, didn't we? From Corey? Music?
Last one.
Music?
Oh, yeah, we didn't do it as a we got it as a
Okay.
resolution.
Yep,
but
sorry.
Good catch.
Correspondence was received from Corey Zibziak, Music Industry Club. Did I get that right?
You didn't stay, so
Oh,
you're
you didn't
okay.
You're good. You're
That
good.
doesn't matter. We can
Music
slide it in.
Industry Club Production Management, Life is Art at SUNY Fredonia, requesting permission to use East and West Barker Common and the gazebo on Saturday, April 9, 2011, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., and the closing of Church Street between Temple and Park for the Life is Art Festival.
Be it resolved that permission is hereby granted to Corey Biezak, Music Industry Club, Life is Art at Sunny Fredonia, to use East and West Barker Common and the gazebo for the Life is Art Festival on Saturday, April 9th, 2011, from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And that Church Street between Temple and Park Place to be closed for the performers. And be it further resolved that the above use of Barker Common and the gazebo is subject to the direction of the Fredonia Police Department, and be it further resolved that this resolution is subject to the receipt of a certificate of insurance naming the Village of Fredonia as additional insured in the amount of $1 million.
Second.
Did we want to put anything in there about the lyrics?
Oh,
We had the discussion,
Oh,
they
we
indicated
did.
that they would monitor that. There was no problem last year, it was a problem a couple of years ago.
Ever since they've been monitoring me, there hasn't been a problem.
Right, so we should have the resolution that they will monitor and
that they will monitor their lyrics and have it family friendly.
with that amendment,
Second.
we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Whereas the Ellicottville Brewing Company, located at 34 West Main Street, has requested permission to hold a music festival in the village alleyway adjoining its premises. Now therefore be it resolved that the permission is hereby granted to Ellicottville Brewing Company to hold a music fest in the village alleyway between Ellicott Building and Park Pub from 12 noon to 11 p.m. on Saturday, April 30th, 2011, and to set up in the alleyway for the music fest on Friday, April 29th, 2011, after 6 p.m. upon the following conditions. Number one, no alcoholic beverage will be sold in the alleyway. The alleyway area will be fenced in by Ellicott so as to prevent persons from taking open containers of alcoholic beverages outside the fenced-in area. The alleyway will be closed Friday, April 29th, 2011, from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. noon on Sunday, May 1st, 2011. Number two, signage will be posted satisfactorily to the police department informing people that open containers of alcohol beverage are prohibited beyond the fenced-in area. Number three, at least 2 security persons meeting the New York State Liquor Authority qualifications will be provided by Ellicottville to ensure an orderly event. Ellicottville shall provide the village police department the names and address of the security personnel. Number four, Ellicottville shall provide the police department by April 4th, 2011 with a plan showing where all the equipment will be located. The police chief is hereby authorized to make changes in the plan he feels is necessary for public safety. Number five, enforcement of the open container ordinance in fenced-in area and noise control law shall be waived during the music fest. However, the sound level of the music shall be reasonable and not create an unnecessary disturbance. Music will end at 11 p.m. on Saturday, April 30th, 2011. Number six, an insurance certificate shall be provided to the village no later than April 4th on 2011 in the amount of at least $1 million showing the village as additional insured with a signed indemnification and hold harmless agreement in favor of the village in form and content satisfactorily to the village attorney. Names and addresses of the directors and officers of Ellicottville and any other information that the village officials feel necessary shall be provided to the village by April 4th, 2011. Number seven, the police department is authorized to enforce the above and to immediately close the event if the event becomes disorderly or unsafe. Number eight, Ellicottville shall be responsible for removing all equipment and cleaning the area by 12 p.m. noon Sunday, May 1st, 2011. And number nine, does not imply waiver of New York State Liquor Authority regulations.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that permission is hereby granted to the festival's Fredonia Committee for the use of Barker Commons, various parking spaces, and village streets for the following festivals or events: Victorian Dazzle, July 15th and 16th, 2011. Red, White, and Blue, September 9th and 10th. Harvest Moon Cemetery Tour, October 14th and 15th. Miracle on Main Street, December 3rd, 2011.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the Village of Fredonia, New York is hereby authorized and directed to file a grant application for 50% matching funds in the amount not to exceed $645 with the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation for such financial assistance to the Village of Fredonia for the Farmers Market Seed to Feed program.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay. Whereas the mission of SUNY Fredonia is to educate students at the baccalaureate and master's level, and while at the same time providing economic, social, and cultural support to the region, and whereas the Village of Fredonia was instrumental in obtaining a state college in Fredonia, and whereas the village official and citizens of the village voted at a meeting held on September 28, 1866, to make a proposal to the state of New York to secure a state college in Fredonia, which proposal was accepted by the state, and whereas the Board of Trustees then authorized the purchase of land and the construction of a building in Fredonia to be known as Old Main or the Normal School, to be used as a normal school and teachers college. And whereas the cost of the land acquisition and the cost of construction of the original state college was paid solely by the Village of Fredonia taxpayers through bonds issued in the name of the Village of Fredonia. And whereas upon completion of the building in 1868, the Board of Trustees of the village authorized, without any monetary consideration to the village, the conveyance to the state of New York of the land and school building and furnishings therein for the purpose of a state college at Fredonia. And whereas the village elected officials continue to maintain a strong interest and desire in having an affordable college at Fredonia, and whereas the State University of New York is the largest comprehensive university system in the United States, educating more than 467,000 students in more than 7,500 degree and certificate programs on 64 campuses with more than 2.5 million alumni around the globe. And whereas SUNY Fredonia has the potential to create unprecedented opportunities, not just for current and future college students and their families, but for businesses and industry and the workforce of New York State. And whereas New York has done an outstanding job of limiting reliance on tuition to support SUNY Fredonia's operations, holding tuition at $4,970 per year, among the lowest in the nation. And whereas the means by which this tuition rate has been achieved are anything but fair and predictable, SUNY campuses have been allowed to raise tuition only 13 times over the last 48 years, the smallest of which was 7% and the highest of which was 43%. And whereas a 5-year tuition plan that is fair, equitable, and responsible, and keeps all tuition revenues at SUNY campuses without corresponding cuts, will provide current and future students and their families the ability to adequately plan ahead, and no any tuition increase will be used to enhance educational opportunities. And whereas it is unwaveringly clear that the past, present, and future of the state of New York is uniquely tied to its state university, and whereas SUNY state-operated campuses have been the only New York public higher education sector to be subject to midterm gubernatorial reductions without the concurrence of the legislature, and have frequently been the only part of state government to deal with the costs associated with collective bargaining agreements negotiated by the Governor's Office of Employee Relations without state funding, thereby eroding the state's maintenance of effort. And whereas SUNY campuses must have fiscal stability to be able to carry out this responsibility, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia hereby supports the State University's proposal for the enactment of a 5-year rational tuition plan, as well as a commitment to the maintenance of effort throughout any given year. And be it further resolved, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia encourages the state legislature to support this proposal and pass it into the New York State law. And be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to forward copies of this resolution to Governor Andrew Cuomo, the New York State legislator, and all the others deemed necessary and proper.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Whereas Section 119-9 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York allows municipal corporation on a contract basis, and whereas Fredonia Central School District, the school, Town of Pomfret, the town, desire that the Village of Fredonia provide a resource officer for the school on a part-time basis, and whereas the village is willing to provide a resource officer who is a police officer of the village upon certain terms and conditions set forth in the proposed agreement between the village, school, and town, and whereas the school is willing to pay $5,000 each year, in each year of this contract, for a total of $10,000 to the village for said program, and whereas the town is willing to pay $5,000 in each year for the contract, a total of $10,000 to the village for said program, and whereas the village is willing to pay the remainder towards the salary and benefits of said officer, and whereas a proposed agreement between the village, school, and town has been presented to this board, whereby the board will provide a resource officer to the school under the terms set forth in said agreement, and whereas said agreement is for the term commencing September 8th, 2010, and ending June 24th, 2011, and September 1st, 2011, and ending June 30th, 2012. Now therefore be it resolved that said agreement is hereby approved, and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said agreement on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that Michael Kelly, 222 Seymour Street, Fredonia, New York, is hereby appointed as a representative of the village residents, and Randy Butts is hereby appointed as a representative of the Fredonia Fire Department to the Electrical License Board of Examiners of the Village of Fredonia to serve a 3-year term effective immediately.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be resolved that Gary Vacani, 5529 Elkett Road, Brockton, Ronald Paschal, 4882 or 4082 Webster Road, Fredonia, and John Christopher Dean III, 10237 Lakeside Boulevard, Dunkirk, are hereby reappointed to the Electrical License Board of Examiners of the Village of Fredonia to serve a 3-year term effective immediately.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Be it resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign a waiver on the 30-day liquor license notice for Wing City Grill on Bennett Road in Fredonia.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any other resolutions?
Yes, we have one more. Whereas the Village of Fredonia wishes to retain the services of Joseph F. Sally, Jr., ESQ of Sally and Associates, P.C., attorneys at law, 4600 Main Street, Amherst, New York, to conduct legal services in connection with the pending arbitration between the Village of Fredonia and the CSEA, arising out of the grievance filed by Jason Jakubowicz at an hourly rate of $175 per hour and not to exceed $10,000 per his proposal dated January 24, 2011. Now therefore be it resolved that the said agreement is hereby approved, and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign said retainer on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any others? Anyone have any of the reports? Any questions, comments?
I'd just like to ask people to go out if they have a grate in front of their house or where around their house, and make sure it's cleared.
Storm sewer. Yeah.
Get some of this water going.
Okay, anyone else? If not, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.